If that's not enough, opening of NFL free agency is just around the corner.
Yeah, and there's some big names, that have been on this list.
We're going to look at the top lists of guys who are about to become free agents. Agents can start talking to teams on March 6th. Teams can start signing players officially, although players can make commitments on March 10th. In the quarterback category, Minnesota went back and forth. Did not franchise tag Sam Darnold despite 35 touchdowns. Tell you what, the last 3 games of the season that they lost, that was not good. And that kind of damaged him a little bit. I think it may have scared some people off. Plus, I'm not sure that a lot of people want to sign him to a $35 million a year contract that he's asking. Minnesota has not signed him, did not franchise tag him. So it gets to me that it may be that Minnesota is going to re-sign Daniel Jones, the ex-Giant quarterback, and pair him with J.J. McCarthy. Darnold goes on the open market. Aaron Rodgers is talking to teams. Aaron Rodgers is making visits. Aaron Rodgers might be bringing his best friend with him, but it would be at a discount price. Nobody's going to pay Aaron Rodgers $40 million for the coming season. The other 2 names are both in Pittsburgh. One's going to stay, but they've not signed Justin Fields yet. So he could get to March 6th as a free agent, which means other people start calling him. Russell Wilson, I'm led to believe, is going to be on the street corner, and he'll be a free agent again. So those are the marquee quarterbacks right at the top of the draft board. Wide receiver, I mentioned Aaron Rodgers' best friend, Devontae Adams, released by the New York Jets. He was not going to get paid $27 million. I'm led to believe the 49ers are first in line to get a shot at him, but he's going to have to take a pay cut unless he wants to go back to Green Bay. And that rumor is out there, or unless he wants to accompany Aaron Rodgers wherever Rodgers goes. But then again, he's going to have to take a pay cut. Chris Godwin has put together back-to-back really great seasons in Tampa, suffered a really bad knee injury, did not play after about the 3rd, 4th week of the season. Tampa wants to re-sign him. Bit of a question mark how ready he will be for the opening of the Buccaneers season. Other people are out there. Seattle's changing everything at wide receiver. Tyler Lockett has been released. This guy caught a ton of passes, 600-plus passes with the Seahawks, 10-year veteran. Christian Kirk, explosive wide receiver, former Arizona Cardinal. Kirk with Jacksonville, averaging 14 yards per catch, high price tag. Jaguars wound up letting him go. So those are the wide receiver guys. There's hardly any tackles out there, and there's a reason. The left tackle is a gold standard player. Ronnie Stanley, Baltimore Ravens, has been rock solid, but has had major knee injuries. He's on the open market. Cam Robinson, former high number 1 draft pick, Jacksonville, finished up in Minnesota. He's unsigned. Mekhi Becton, who was a bust as a number 1 pick, went to the Jets and became an inside guard and played really well. He's back on the open market. Defensive pass rush guys. Joey Bosa was put on the market at 8 o'clock last night, released by the Chargers. He is going to be a hot commodity. Now, he's not going to get $25 million as he was slated to earn this last year with the Bolts. He's going to get picked up pretty quickly. It's interesting. The second and third name in the defensive line group are both from Philadelphia, Josh Sweat and Martin Williams. Williams is a fast-developing inside defensive tackle. I am surprised the Eagles have not been able to get him re-signed, but both Sweat and Williams, free agents from Philadelphia. Chance Young, former number 1 pick out of Ohio State, nice career, Washington, but major knee injuries, bounced around and left, went to Jacksonville. He is a free agent back on the open market. Linebackers, Khalil Mack is still unsigned. Hot rumor, the Bears are interested. Nick Bolton, do everything Kansas City. Bit of a surprise, he's not yet been signed. But again, the Chiefs are juggling some dollars, and maybe they don't want to pay $25 million to Nick Bolton. And the guys in the secondary, Carlton Davis, ex-Lion, former Tampa Bay. He's had injury problems. Darius Slay, just cut loose by Philadelphia. He's very affordable. That's a pretty good player. He'll probably get picked up quickly. And Brian Murphy, young cornerback, Minnesota. Vikings, I still think, have to re-sign him, but he's on the open market too. So, John, those are marquee names on the free agent market. And again, March 6th, teams talk to agents. Players can commit on March 6th, March 7th, and they normally do, can't sign till March 10th. So things are going to happen real quick in the NFL right out of the gate. So top that list off. Go ahead. Pick a position. What do you think happens?
Well, first of all, I think the Vikings kind of letting loose on Darnold, I think is the right move, because it's too risky to invest in him, and you're going to tie up your salary cap for 5-6 years if you sign him that deal, and you can't trust him after those last 2 games in the regular season and playoffs. The Fields Wilson thing in Pittsburgh is kind of weird. It seems like neither one of them is really the answer, but you can't have 2 mediocre guys there. Love seeing the names. I mean, Slay and Sweat on the list is great. Do you just pronounce it Sweet or Sweat?
I've heard both.
Okay. I mean, I just love that. And then, Joey Bosa. I mean, let's talk about him for a minute, because he has gotten hurt so much.
He's had injuries 7 of the 9 years in San Diego and in LA.
Yeah. I mean, he's just really had a rough go. And it just seemed like it was time to finally turn the page. But what was interesting about Bosa, I think he was the last of the San Diego Chargers.
Well, that's not the correct statement. They've gotten rid of everybody, with the exception of the owner of the team. Spanos is the last of the San Diego Chargers.
Okay.
But no, Bosa had a good run. He made an enormous amount of money. I don't think he ever panned out to be the consistently explosive pass rusher because he was hurt all the time. He was hurt 7 of his 9 years. In the last couple of seasons, he played 28 games. He missed 23. And he was making mega money. His cap figure was $36 million. He was owed a $12 million bonus next week, and the Chargers said no. And he had taken cuts and given money back to try to keep the team together. But at the end of the day, he's out of there. I guess the thing that shocks me, I have a philosophy. Mine might be different from some other general manager. I don't dump players out in the street unless I got players ready to replace them. Who's going to replace Bosa? And what happens if Khalil Mack leaves? Because they don't want to pay a 31-year-old linebacker $30 million per year. What if he leaves? 2 of your best pass rushers are gone. What's your defense look like?
Well, I think they're going to hope to get another Jared Verse or someone like that in the draft. That's got to be part of the strategy.
Mm-hmm. So that's where we are there.
Well, with Joey Bosa, I have a question. Obviously, his brother Nick has done really, really well. But when Joey Bosa was coming into the NFL 9 years ago or whenever it was he projected to be a better player than his younger brother? Or how did you take that? Like, if there were no injuries, who's a better Bosa?
Well, I'd say Nick Bosa because he's bigger and more physical. I always thought Joey was really undersized to be a defensive end in the NFL. And, of course, they kind of convert him with new defenses, and he's more of a linebacker. But he came in as an undersized defensive end. He'd get blown up by these tackles. Now, he was also a pretty good pass rush guy, and he could beat people. But, boy, he just had so many injuries, and it was something different every year. And he was gone for extended periods of time. And he cashed in on his second contract. Was a really big contract because he had just come off good seasons, and you thought, here he is. And all of a sudden, boom, 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 injury after injury. He started missing all these games and missing chunks of seasons, and it's just the cap number kept going up. And when you renegotiate, that tacks it onto the back of the cap number in terms of dead money. So tough situation for the Chargers. Good player, not his brother Nick Bosa for sure. And Nick's had major injury problems too. It's a tough game, but he's more undersized. Nick Bosa is a better physical specimen.
Now, Khalil Mack, is he going to retire, or is he going to be a free agent?
Oh, he's going to play. He's a free agent.
Because wasn't he contemplating retirement?
Yeah, and they came back and said, I'm going to play. But the Chargers did not get him signed before the window opened. And now he's on the open market.
I mean, how old is he?
31.
That's all? I mean, he seems to have been around forever.
Yeah, but he's at 9 or 10 years. He's had no major injuries. Different type player, strong side linebacker with the ability to run. The rumor mill out there is that he might wind up going back to the Chicago Bears because he had a good working relationship with people when he was with Chicago. But he's going to go where the money is. And obviously the Chargers are not going to pay him the kind of money. Again, his cap figure is $30 million too. It's just not going to do that. Not for a 31-year-old player.
Yeah, it's a math problem, really.
Yeah. And it's just not with the Chargers. It's all over the NFL. What do you think happens with the quarterbacks? What do you think becomes of Aaron Rodgers?
I don't know if any team is really willing to take on all the baggage and all the distractions that come around with him, knowing that he's only going to play maybe one more year, right? I mean, we were contemplating maybe he would go to the Raiders, and that sounds interesting, but a lot of Raider fans don't want him at all, So I I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't really find a job.
Well, I think he'll find a job, but his ego is going to have to be parked in the corner
Good luck.
because, well, exactly, and he's going to take a pay cut. Nobody's going to pay him $40 million. That ship has sailed.
Mm-hmm.
So he can sign somewhere for 20 and maybe get a first and a second year option. It'd be intriguing to see if he signed him and Davante Adams came with him. What if Pittsburgh did that? Because Pittsburgh has had no quality quarterbacking since Ben Roethlisberger retired. What if Pittsburgh got Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams came, both on discounts, because Pittsburgh desperately needs wide receivers to complement George Pickens. So it's going to be interesting to see where Aaron Rodgers lands and whether he brings a wide receiver with him.
Well, I wonder if Pittsburgh and the lunch pail, coal mine in town would put up with all of Aaron Rodgers' BS. I'm not sure. But, I saw there was a great clip on social media, and it was like a rainstorm on a street, and there were these two trash bins sliding down the street in the rain, and they go, there goes Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams to their next team.
Didn't work out. Holy cow, it did not work out. So you got a comment, a question, a statement on the NFL free agencies right at your front door. Feel free to jump on board. We're looking for NFL fans to join us in Fans Forum. That chat box is open. One other